Such a rewarding and tactile experience driving a hand-built E34 M5. Eric Keller here, Enthusiast Auto Group. Today we're in EAG Super Secret Warehouse number 2, and we're going to talk about a very special E34 M5. This is the only car of color you see in this view outside of that Amola red 700-mile final model year E39 M5, which happens to share that final model year theme with this Mugello Rot 1993 E34 M5. We're going to take a very fun, semi-spirited drive in this car. We're going to tell you the car's story. We're going to tell you what makes it very special, very unique, and what the EAG rejuvenation program has encompassed on the high-level points. It's a really great car that frankly is like the second nicest E34 M5 sedan North American spec example we've ever seen. We're talking about over 100 different cars. And it's got a really awesome story. I'm very excited to share it with you. So you're gonna wanna make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button if you're enjoying these videos, because a whole lot more videos like these are in the works. And that Alpine White M5 over there, you're definitely gonna wanna see that video. So without further ado, let's go take a drive in this E34 M5. It is very sensory rich in its feedback. The engine, this big six, I mean the largest 6-cylinder inline BMW ever produced, is a naturally aspirated engine for the North American market at that 3.6 liter level, the S38 E36, only eclipsed by that 3.8 liter that came for the European market, 340 horsepower opposed to the 310 for this North American spec car. And you know, with a couple little bits of upgrade, the cam gear, the performance chip, that 310 comes pretty darn close to that 340 real quick without even changing the exhaust system. Changed the cats and the rear muffler, and all of a sudden you are at that European performance level. And I have to say that it is just a great driving experience that still has, you know, modern performance level, but you can use every ounce of the RPM range through first, second, third, getting in even to fourth gear, and you're not going to aggressively off kilter relative to the road conditions. And being able to use all of that power certainly is a whole lot more fun than just limping a 500-600 horsepower beast of a car along. But let's take a listen to this this engine as we pull uphill. Oh, it is so hard not to just, yeah. I remember why I fell in love with the E34 M5 after driving one for the first time, which of course was my graduation from the E28 M5 platform. And you know, it was that E28 M5 experience that really brought me to the M brand, as many people that know our company and our story. You know, this M5 has a pretty old connection, a long-standing connection with me personally, as well as EAG. It is a car we got really close to buying way back when. It was on Roadfly, if you guys remember that really old website, and it was here in Cincinnati, and it had like 22,000 miles. I'm going back to, I think, about 2008. And I called the guy up, and he brought the car out to the shop. We had just purchased our current EAG HQ a year prior, and we go through the car in the lift. I take the car for a drive. He's just, you know, beaming ear to ear, smiling with how proud he is of the car and its condition and its mileage, as rightly so, because, you know, 22,000 miles young, 13 years ago, this was an exceptionally low mileage car. And, you know, we didn't quite get together on the numbers. He was, as I said, very proud of the car, and it just didn't make fiscal sense for EAG at the time. And then our phone rings just like a week later, and hi, this is Steve down in Miami, and I'd be interested in having you guys conduct a PPI on a car that's close to you. Would you be interested in helping me out? Sure, Steve, we'd be happy to do that for you. What car is it? He goes, well, it's a really low mileage red E34 M5. I said, great. Know the car well, I drove it last week. And so we did share all of our findings with him, and I think we did bring the car back in a second time, and just did a more official PPI for him. And you know, obviously he bought the car, and you know, part of that deal and was you know, hey, go ahead and you know, just give us a call when you're done with the car. We'd love to have that option to buy the car back from you. And well, 10 years later, he honored his word and he gave us a call, and well, we did what we said we were going to do, and that was transact and buy this bad boy. It is a fantastic car. I think it had 44,000 miles at the time, and now we're just about ready to cross 46 here on our test drive, and I'll be smiling when we do it. Taking a lap around this E34 M5 should be a visual treat to any and all enthusiasts. It is a fantastic example that frankly has been loved and cared for by some pretty, well, devout enthusiasts, we'll say. And well, cosmetics speak clearly to that. Now a multiple two-time repeat graduate from EAG's rejuvenation program, the car's condition frankly could not be in better shape than it is in today. Boy oh boy, look at all that stuff. We have the original springs, the original self-leveling suspension here in the bottom Tupperware, the original owner's manual with the cassette if you would like to learn all about the audio system and how technologically advanced it is. This 1993 final model year E34 M5 has every single VIN tag in place, and when I say that, I mean every body panel that is removable or not does have a VIN tag that was installed by the factory, letting I guess the workers know that that belong to that car, but today it certainly signifies a bit more of honesty and originality to those enthusiasts, and every door, every fender, every quarter panel, every bumper, even the transmission and the engine do have these lovely little VIN tags in place. The staggered wheel fitment on these 17-inch M Throwing Star wheels was a, well, Euro option only and or a 850 CSI feature. The rears are a 9-inch where the fronts are 7.5. The front Throwing Star blades, those are covers. Those do come off with 5 Allen screws on the back side of those wheels. We're a square setup from the factory. You're going to see a nice little dish there on the rear. As we move forward to the front on the same angle, you'll see a little bit less dish. And well, those are kind of like holy grail wheels. You cannot find those very easily, and when you do, they are not cheap. That is just one of the many 20 Yare upgrades and updates on this Mugello 1993 M5 that does kind of pay homage, clearly pay homage, to that 20th anniversary of those 20 cars that were built by BMW. And celebrating, you know, that they had to be proud. I mean, this was a big deal for them. And that's why they did the red seat belts. That's why they did the big fancy Recaro seats, which is about the only thing that this car does not have as far as that package. And relative to drivetrain performance, while the 3.8 liter would have had a little bit more oomph, this 3.6 liter has been breathed upon, and that Dynon software and cam gear, I'm sure it puts this thing within single digits, close single digits to the performance level of that 3.8. We've done 45,957 miles. I think the driver's seat speaks very clearly to its condition. It's all original, never been restored, and just 1 month off of those 20-year celebration production M cars, and I have to say, it's hard not to keep this car for our collection. It is definitely a historical reference car in terms of its condition. If you are looking for the best of the best, the #1 position in the E34 M5 market, I am showing that to you here real time with this lovely iPhone. It is a top shelf example. They do not come nicer than this, and we will be benchmarking all other E34 M5s of similar mileage or higher to this car. Did you hear that? Yeah, look, listen, here we go. Pretty great. This is a fantastic car that, well, belongs in any enthusiast collection that does appreciate that finer level of, well, quality and condition in life. This car is as nice as you could ever hope for this mileage, for this age. And that's why it's not exactly an inexpensive car to own. But as we have done this most recent time in buying it back from our client, we will of course be there ready and willing to buy it back, just as we've done with half of the cars in this super secret warehouse number 2. We stand behind the cars all the way to the point of making sure that you are set up for success with your local workshop and trusted advisor and a team that supports you and, well, frankly cares. And that is one of the EAG differences, and certainly why that we want to keep this car in a loving enthusiast home. And that whole adoption agency process that is buying a car from EAG is alive and well. Is one of the very few differences, or many differences I should say, and why we want to continue to build and foster those relationships. So if this M5 is of interest to you, let's have that conversation. Drop us a line, let us know what and how you want to use it and enjoy it, and let's make sure that it's going to be a good chapter for this car's life. It's not going to be a daily driver in the salt. It's made it this long. Let's preserve it for the next enthusiast to drive and enjoy, and continue to enjoy the car the way that it was meant to be, as this final hand-built example. It is an amazing car that I certainly look forward to hearing the feedback from the next enthusiast owner. Hopefully they've owned one before, and if they haven't, this will reset their baseline of what an analog car should drive like. So without further ado, let's move on to the next video. Do stay tuned, subscribe for more videos, hit these like buttons if you're enjoying these videos, and see you.